Hello, welcome back to another review. Today, we'll be talking about the Fenrir Asym and why this fingertip mouse might be your new main. Firstly, let's talk about what you get in the package. First of all, you get these two fashion sleeves, which are actually pretty good. There's nothing to complain about, especially when you don't want to pay crazy money for a wall-high sleeve or a pulsar sleeve. These are definitely pretty nice, but depending on how big your arms are, like if you work out, for example, these can be a bit tight. I personally have no problems, but on my bicep, after hours of gaming, I definitely get an imprint, but nothing that really bothers me personally. Now, secondly, you would usually get molding clay, but I did not receive any. Personally, I don't mind at all because I have nothing to change on this mouse, but it would definitely be fun to play around with it. Now, to the box itself. This is some really funny looking Alpha Wolf AI art, which I personally am not the greatest fan of, but then again, it's just a box, so I don't really care about it. Now to the accessories that you get, which are in this little envelope. You get some skates, which I've already used some of, which are actually pretty nice. They feel really good. These are 100% PTFE, if I'm not mistaken, and feel really nice, are quite fast in my opinion, and I really enjoy these. I would go as far as saying these feel better than my Silver Fox skates, but that is again each to their own. You also get 3 of these stickers for the base. Since it is open, you can cover it with these stickers and have no dust coming in. You also get 2 of these spacers, which actually are pretty good, also come in handy. I have had some imbalance on my skates here where I put here a spacer in, and it actually removed any kind of wobble and now sits perfectly fine. You also get 2 of these stickers for your battery in case you want to mod it, for example, put in an even smaller battery or a different one. And lastly, in the accessory envelope, you also get this manual, which brings you to the Jivo's website and the WebDriver, which we'll be talking about later. Now, you also receive this really cool looking carrying case. I personally find it really cool. It is really nice and feels pretty strong actually, and definitely is great for if you want to take your mouse somewhere and don't want to risk breaking it. I can definitely see these becoming annoying with the more Jivo's mice you buy, since I think you don't need 5 of these, but definitely for if you buy one, this is really cool. As for what is inside of this carrying case, you get these straps which you can use for when you walk around and attach to this carrying case. You also receive 2 cables, one of which being this charging cable and another being a black cable. This one is to charge it, the other one is for the dongle, which looks like this. I think it looks really cool, really clean. I really love this blue tone, and I have really nothing to complain about on this one. I really don't understand though why there are 2 cables, because whenever my mouse is empty, I just attach it to the dongle cable, which is no big hassle and doesn't bother me at all. Then in here you also have a little carrying pouch where the mouse then is located in, which is actually really nice for if you don't want to get dust on it. You can just leave it and have it on your setup sitting like this. Also included in the box are these grip tapes, which actually feel really nice and are nice and grippy and are really necessary for this mouse, and why we'll be getting to later in this video. Now this unit for me came in at 21 grams, which actually can range from 20 to 22 grams depending on which mouse you get. Now the most noticeable thing about this mouse is this is your favorite mouse just cut in half, basically, to reduce all of this weight. This allows for more range of motion and being able to drag the mouse down to control your recoil and not having to worry about using your full arm to do that. Now to the pinky support, which is why it makes this mouse the Asym. Personally, I use it and it's really nice. It really helps my grip a lot. It feels really good. I have had 0 complaints. Of course, this makes the mouse a bit wider, but I have pretty big hands, so I have had zero problem with this thing. The button height on this mouse is also really low, one of the lowest I've seen so far, and really helps you get this precision in and feel locked in. Now to the thumb part, which can set a lot of people off actually. It's not very thick. I've never heard someone say like, okay, my thumb is this and this centimeters thick, so maybe you should get it or not. My thumb is 2 centimeters thick, and I can still get it here and move it around perfectly, but I have my thumb right here, I don't know why, and it just feels comfortable, so I personally have zero problems. I can definitely see this becoming an issue for people who have like wider thumbs, talking about 2.5 centimeters or above, which really then can get annoying to the point where you will be needing to disable these side buttons, perhaps. Now to the coding, which there is none. This mouse is completely codingless and definitely is way too slippery if you have no grips. Now, there is no coating on this mouse because Geo's Gym wanted to remove as much weight as possible, and obviously a coating would add that tad bit of weight. The grips actually help you get that grip you would want, and I have no problem with it since I personally have a pretty fixed grip on this mouse and did not need to altercate anything. But in case you do need to change anything, you can actually take off these grips and reattach them. I've done it. This grip was more below because I thought I liked it more, but when I changed my grip more to the top with my index finger, I actually had nothing left here and it still grips super insanely. It's really nice. Now to the shell of this thing. You see there's holes everywhere. Wherever you look, there are holes left and right, especially with this part. And you would think, okay, this mouse is going to be the biggest QC nightmare, but actually it is not. I have had zero creaking on this mouse and nowhere ever did it make any noises. You can also nowhere get this thing to flex or bend except for this little part right here where you actually need a pretty big amount of force to actually get it into flex, but this is a fingertip mouse, so you will not be touching that anytime soon. Also, this mouse is reinforced by its own PCB, which helps you get that strong side feel. Now to the clicks. This mouse uses D2LS 21 clicks, which actually feel a bit heavy for me, especially because I'm a little fresher on fingertip mice, which made it a bit weird to switch into more heavier clicks. This mouse has actually zero pre and post travel on the main clicks, which feels really nice, and I did not expect that actually. It feels super locked in. Now the scroll wheel, it feels a bit less tactile. It's a bit softer, which I definitely noticed instantly coming from the OP18KV2, which feels more tactile and you feel each step. So definitely this becomes a bit of a problem, especially if you're someone who uses this to jump in like tag shooters, for example, or Apex Legends. Now to the side buttons, they do have like the tiniest amount of pre-travel, but I personally have not come in contact with any problems so far, so this is not a big reason where I would say don't get this mouse. Now to the sensor. This uses a PAW 3950DB sensor, which of course it's a really fast sensor, but you physically will not be feeling this. You wouldn't even feel this if this was a 3395. So definitely if you care about latency, just don't worry about it. You will not be feeling that difference. Now to the WebDriver, which I actually love so much. First of all, it's a WebDriver. You do not have to download anything. On the first look, it appears like every other WebDriver with one difference, that being the response sensitivity. You can set it from high to mid to low. High sense being tiny movements being registered easier, and low sense where tiny movements are registered harder. So if you have more shakier aim, which can definitely happen from you coming just now to fingertip grip, you can put the setting to low and not worry about maybe shaking too hard as you would when having the sensitivity at high. Now, who is this mouse actually for? Definitely if you've already been fingertip gripping and have bigger hands, I can only recommend this thing to you, since many people with small hands would say, okay, I have to grip this thing really wide, so my range of motion will be hindered. Now, also, I would definitely recommend this mouse to you if you have your pinky in the back. I've heard of people complaining about this mouse, saying it's bad because they did not have any use for the pinky support, but I'm like, just buy the Fenrir Pro then. Don't say it's a bad mouse when you don't use the pinky support. I don't understand that. Also, I gotta say, I cannot recommend this mouse to people who have like really thick thumbs, because your thumb will just not fit on here and possibly drag across the mouse pad, which can be really annoying over time. Definitely, if you play tracking games or target switching games such as Battlefield or Apex Legends or Overwatch, this mouse is definitely going to be really nice. Now, if you play tag shooters such as Valorant or CSGO, it definitely works. I have done it, I still do it. It's not the worst, but you missing that stability really can be kind of annoying in certain gunfights. Now, I really hoped I could help you decide on whether to get this mouse or not. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments what I can change in the future. And like and subscribe. I'm gonna see you guys later. Bye bye.